I'd like to welcome everyone to the January 14, 2014 council meeting. I'd ask everyone to rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence for our men and women serving in the military.
That was excellent, Joe.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Ms. Lashry, would you read the Open Publics Meeting Act?
According to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been given to the Daily Record. Notice has been posted in the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, and notices were sent to those requesting the same.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda?
Here.
Mr. Ferrante?
Here.
Mrs. Leibau?
Here.
Mr. Perkins? Mr. Roman?
Here.
Mr. Mania? Mr. Nacastro?
Here. Okay, please note that Mr. Perkins is running late and planning to be here, and Mr. Mania is away on vacation. I believe we're going to go into executive session first. First, I'd like to also welcome Jeff Pasek here, our attorney as well. And I believe we're going to go into executive session first. So I would ask Alex if you can read the statement, please.
Under Section 7 and 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, I move to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel matters. Minutes will become available upon the conclusion of the matter.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Amianda?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante?
Yes.
Mrs. Leibau?
Yes.
Mr. Roman?
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro?
Yes.
And just mention there will be further public business when we come out.
Okay. Yeah, there will be further public business when we come out of executive session. We're going to be holding it in here.
Yes.
So we would ask anyone to please leave at this time.
And it should-
Ready? Okay, let the record show Mr. Perkins is here. Okay, on to resolutions. There's a total of 11. You have one that was added here for the senior center nutrition site as well. Any questions on the resolutions? Mr. Roman?
Sean, could you give me a little bit more information on the second resolution, the sale of 87 Netcong Road?
Sure, thank you. Several months ago, we were approached by the resident at the corner of Netcong and Sand Shore, the Giuliani family, and they had inquired in the past as to whether the township would be interested in selling this piece of property at auction. As we do with all pieces of property or any inquiries with township property, we've circulated among the departments to find out if there's any utilitarian use for the township. The departments had come back that there was none, and they then sent it to our tax assessor, Jack Marchione, asking for the highest and best use of this property. He envisioned, obviously, it's in an R4 zone, it's undersized, nothing can be done with our sole ownership of this property. The adjacent 3 properties, one of which has a wellhead on it, are also township properties, but even if we were to go down the route and make that a public park, it would be undersized, it wouldn't satisfy any of our recreational needs. It'd be another kind of a odd-shaped pocket park, so to speak. So, that being said, I asked Mr. Marchione what he thought the price would be if we were to hold this a public auction, and that's reflected in the memo to council. So that's the rationale behind the resolution bringing this to council tonight. It's his recommendation that we do sell it at public auction. There was a very good inquiry from Councilwoman Leibau about making this possible parking space for the boat ramp at the end of Netcong and Sand Shore. However, we have concerns with this particular parcel due to it being within 2 of our residents, and it's only a 50-foot parcel. There may be some outcry and some concern if we go down that route.
Anyone else, Mr. Beck?
Just to add to that, we do have a couple of other municipally owned properties along that route closer to the pump station, and possibly we can entertain making those into driveway because they don't affect any of the residents. Because Alex and Ray, we both lived over in that area, and Daniel, when a lot of the boats come and they have their boats, trailers, the trucks, and they're bringing the boats into the lake, they park in the one corner piece, and there's not a lot of parking for the amount of watercraft that go down into the lake. So I think it's come to a point where we really need to find some kind of parking where we can get them off of Sand Shore Road at that intersection, because that tends to be very busy. And if we go right around the corner, just one property lot over onto where the pump station is, we could maybe kind of get some of the parking over there and not on that busy corner. So that was my thought process, but I think it's much better to sell it, especially to the property owners there. They could extend their yards, and they, you know, we'd benefit by more rateables, they'd benefit by larger yard.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, there's 5 ordinances for first reading.
I
Oh,
forget.
I'm
I
sorry.
thought you meant anyone else on this.
Oh, I'm
resolution.
sorry, yeah, any other?
On the first one, various park improvements, can you give me a quick breakdown of what those improvements are?
Sure. The township has been approached, and we've already ratified one MOU. This has to do with the Drakesbrook property, the improvement of the lacrosse fields, and the other one is the Turkey Brook 4 Moose Goat type of lighting. Those bids have not gone out yet, but this is the preparation of, in anticipation of implementing those MOUs and getting the reimbursements back to the clubs.
No cost to the taxpayer, all reimbursed through the clubs.
Excellent.
Yes, Mr. Lemon?
Can we have an update on the situation at the library?
Yes.
That's a resolution tonight also.
Yeah, the remediation company is in there. It's certainly going to be expensive, but the JIF, after, getting in touch with them, there's a couple methods that you can get this paid for. A, we front it and they reimburse us. Since it was such a large expense, we were able to have the JIF pick up the emergency costs on this all up front, plus our deductible.
And it just, the sprinkler head just broke, or was it frozen? Like, they didn't know what happened, or?
It's, well, you know what, John Geiger, his former Port Authority police training, he treated it like a crime scene, saved the sprinkler head. The JIF has it, they may actually subrogate against the manufacturer if they find it to be defective. But what we think happened is, it was way up in the ceiling, it was the 0-degree day, that perhaps there was a draft up there when the, must have frozen the spring that holds the sprinkler head together. When the morning sun started hitting the roof, it warmed up the rafters, and this broke about anywhere between 6:30 and 7:30 in the morning. The police were alerted. By the time we got in, there was still almost 45 minutes worth of water, and it caused a lot of damage. They're currently renovating the carpets. They've done all the tear out. They've moved the books. They've saved what they could. So new carpets getting laid down. There was an environmental air study in there this afternoon. We anticipate those results probably tomorrow or early Friday, and at that point, the library should have to go ahead to at least partially be open.
Did we lose a lot of because there was a heritage room?
Yeah, I don't know how much they lost. I haven't heard that they've been devastated, but I haven't heard that it's been a huge success either.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Mr. Roman?
On the resolution for Edmunds, I'm assuming that's our accounting software?
Yes, that's our accounting purchasing requisition program.
Is this that we approve every year? We update it every year?
Yes,
That's
sir.
it. And that's all I have.
Anyone else? Okay, there's 4 ordinances for first readings. Any comments, anything on those? Okay, any old business? Seeing none. New business, bear-proof garbage cans. Ms. LaBelle?
Yes. I had brought this up. We have the bills before the Senate.
We heard it
Well,
died.
Yeah, it died in
It
the
died with
Senate.
the session.
Yeah, but it's coming back.
All right.
It's coming back, and as a matter of fact, I got an email today from Janine Motto from the the Animal Protection League in New Jersey. They're very much in favor of it, as far as a few other groups, and they're looking to bring it back, and
We don't have a number yet, do we? A number or S number?
not yet, no. So,
We'll make sure that our legislators stay on top of it.
yeah, and I just got the email this afternoon, so so they've been researching other communities that have the one-arm garbage trucks and how they're managing with the bear containers and that type of thing. But the reason why I wanted to propose this, as Jeff was very helpful in helping me get this together, and Sean as well, is that because we spent an exorbitant amount of money implementing this process, I'm not saying that the bill itself is bad. Matter of fact, as you remember, I asked about bear-proof containers when we first started it.
Yeah, this was not on the
And,
horizon.
Yeah, this was not on the horizon at the time, so it's because of the cost that we've already expended. At this point, this would just really kind of be rather devastating financially for us.
Well,
And
we'll figure out, if it's a state mandate, we may have to sue the state to get them to pay.
yeah, or if we could just get some kind of an exemption and you work it in at some other
It's possible.
point.
We'll look at all options available, including retrofitting the cans that we have with some kind of latch that
Yeah.
would satisfy.
But I thought the most important part was to make them aware of what's going
Yes.
on in various communities, that, you know, because from what I read, they didn't really take any of that into consideration. So that's why I kind of wanted to speak up and say, look, we have this situation, how do we deal with it? So,
Mr. Perkins and then Mr. Canning. Mr. Perkins.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I had the opportunity to speak to Senator Rojo this morning. Yes, it did die with the last session. He's confident it will be brought back up again in the new session. Obviously, I think a very strong worded letter from the mayor and council that our displeasure, to say the least. It is being, it was introduced by, I believe, someone from Hudson County or
Yeah.
Bergen County, who had brought this forward. I don't know
Lesniak.
how bad their bears are for Mr. Lesniak there, but, I mean, we do have quite an extensive educational program here throughout the health department as far as how to keep bears out of trash. We have spent a tremendous amount of money and hopefully saving a lot of workmen's compensations issues with the one-armed bandit trucks that are presently in use. And I, for one, feel that as a township council and office of the mayor, that we should send a very strong letter to our 24th legislative district outlining all of the good reasons why we don't feel that this is proper, nor that it should be imposed upon the municipality of Mount Olive Township.
I've already directed Mr. Canning to prepare a draft of that letter, which we will circulate and finalize.
Thank you, Mr. Burke.
thank you.
Mr. Canning? Anything?
Yeah, just for the record, I've already been in touch with ex-mayor Lisichowicz from Senator Rojo's office. I've offered to testify at any Senate or Assembly subcommittee hearing. Normally goes to committee before it gets released. And I certainly expressed my desire to go to Trenton and speak on behalf of Mount Olive. They were receptive to that, so if it gets to that point, hopefully they'll take me up on the invite.
Thank you. Mr. Roman, did you?
In our packet, there's a draft resolution
Yeah.
opposing the Senate. If it does come back up, and I'm assuming it is, I'd like to make sure that we vote on such a resolution.
We'll stay on top of it.
Well,
Yes, Mr.
that would have been my question. Do we want to go with the letter first or the resolution that we
Vote.
I
prepare?
think both.
Both simultaneously?
Yes.
So should the resolution, should we go with it for tonight, or do you
No, I
guys,
think
I'd wait.
in 2 weeks?
Wait until it gets reintroduced,
Okay,
and we'll send a letter indicating enclosed herewith is a resolution from the Township Council of Mount Olive with respect to opposition to bill number blah, 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 blah. We wanted to bring special attention to the circumstances that Mount Olive will be faced with in the event that the bill is brought up for a vote again.
okay.
And we would like the opportunity to present testimony in terms of the impact that the bill will have on our community. And the fact that ultimately, at the end of the letter, it'll say something along the lines of, if you're going to mandate that Mount Olive have these cans, we're going to expect that the state is going to pay for that mandate to the tune of $400,000.
Yeah.
Mr. Roman?
I think we should maybe reach out to our neighboring municipalities to see if they too can introduce a resolution. I don't know if it's on their radar. All right, thank you.
I think we
Yes.
do that do we send the resolutions to neighboring communities, Lisa, or only
they
when it's
affect the neighboring
requested?
community.
If it's requested in the resolution.
Requested, okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other new business? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move to the public portion. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? If not, close the public portion. Yep, close the public portion of the meeting, and we're opening the meeting, the public meeting for January 14th, 2014.
We have to adjourn first?
Oh, wait, yes, I'm sorry, you're right. Can we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, or all in favor? All in favor.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay. Open the January 14th, 2014 Mount Olive Council meeting. Open Public Meetings Act announcement. Ms. Lashway?
According to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been given to the Daily Record. Notice has been posted in the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakes Town Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, and notices were sent to those requesting the same. Mr. Almeida?
Yes.
Mr. Frante?
Yes.
Mrs. Leibau?
Here.
Mr. Perkins?
Here.
Mr. Roman?
Present.
Mr. Mania? Mr. Nacastro?
Here. Please note that Mr. Mania is away on vacation. Right now, we're going to have the mayor's State of the Township address.
Thank you. You're going to have to bear with me because I've been sick for about a week. And it's a rather lengthy address because, to be quite honest, as even I was surprised, we had such a successful year in terms of the achievements of our departments that I had difficulty cutting any of it out when it was presented to me. So I wanted to give council as full a picture as I could in terms of the successes that Mount Olive had in 2013 and where we're going in 2014.
Do we have a copy?
I'm sorry?
Did you give us a copy?
Probably not, but you can have a copy. A copy was provided to the clerk's office for the record, and you're certainly entitled to a copy. You can get that from Lisa going forward.
Email it.
I thought Daniel had a copy of it. Did you not?
No.
Oh, yeah, you had my copy. Okay, I do have an extra copy if anyone wants to read it, but this is my State of the Township address for 2014. Council President, members of Town Council, municipal employees, friends, relatives, and fellow residents of Mount Olive. I once again thank you for the opportunity to report on the state of the Township of Mount Olive this year. I'm very pleased to advise that Mount Olive continues to move forward as a community in an extremely positive direction. I truly enjoy the honor of being mayor of this incredible town and look forward to continuing to guide our township and instill my vision as to Mount Olive's future. Along with the town council, we have continued working and have been successful in creating a sense of community and pride in Mount Olive. I would like to thank Colleen Leibau for her leadership this past year and look forward to working with John Maney as council president in 2014. We have been diligent in our efforts of attracting new businesses to Mount Olive, as well as working with existing commercial establishments to grow and stabilize our rateable base. At the same time, we have conservatively managed town finances in an effort to control tax increases, and those efforts are now showing dividends. Our efforts of fiscal conservative spending practices and attracting smart rateable growth is now and will for the near future continue to provide dividends to the residents of Mount Olive. Through our efforts, I am extremely pleased that my 2014 budget contains no tax increase for municipal services. In fact, we have a $3 decrease to the municipal residents in the budget that I will be giving to council shortly. Even better, looking forward, I am hopeful that the 2015 and 2016 budgets will contain more significant tax decreases for what I anticipate even greater improved level of municipal services. Just to recap that, taxes going down, services going up. That's what we're all up here to do. As an overview, some of our major administrative accomplishments during 2013 included: 1, successful business development and outreach, Siemens Corporation. Since May of 2012, representatives from the Township of Mount Olive worked side by side with the Governor's Office in relation to Siemens Corporation, pitting Mount Olive against the community in the state of Indiana. Through the combination of efforts of Mount Olive personnel in providing education of the demographics and highly educated available workforce, and excellence of service in schools and government, combined with incentives from the state of New Jersey, Siemens made the choice to allocate their efforts and settle here in Mount Olive. Construction is currently underway, and opening is expected in early 2015. At that time, we expect to see an increased tax rateable growth somewhere in the neighborhood of about $500,000 per year. Number 2, successful business development and outreach, Fratelli Beretta Corporation. The township entered into negotiations with Fratelli Beretta Corporation the summer of 2013, who was seeking to relocate and establish their national headquarters in New Jersey. Mount Olive Township representatives were successful in arriving at a framework agreement. Construction is expected to begin in 2014 for a 200,000 square foot facility representing the national headquarters for the corporation. Again, an additional rateable growth in year 2014 or 2015 for the township. Fleet services. Early in 2012, it was recognized there were efficiencies to be gained by examining certain larger operational methods the township had conducted and identify a better way of conducting business. Fleet operations were analyzed, and an operational concept was put into place in 2013. The result was an expected $100,000 in savings over the prior year's expenses, bringing the staffing and operations in-house as opposed to the outsourcing as had been conducted in the past. We expect in-house fleet operations to continue its success in the future of 2014 and beyond. Number 4, auto refuse. Again, in 2012, it was identified that there were better efficiencies to be achieved by examining how the operations and sanitation could be improved. The plans had been introduced and approved by council, which was to reduce the number of sanitation trucks on the road from 5 to 3 using available automated technology. The plan was implemented in late 2013 and thus far has been successful in townwide trash pickup. The anecdotal information that I have is that the routes are being completed in a much quicker fashion than they had been previously. Going into 2014, an effort will be identified and made to provide for an education effort to divert proper recyclables to the recycling stream and away from the solid waste stream. It is anticipated that up to $100,000 can be saved through a proper education campaign. The Jividon Braille Trail, number 5. In combination with Jividon Corporation, the plan of establishing a hiking and biking trail with the added bonus and focus of a sensory experience for the sight impaired was initiated and successfully achieved in 2013 along the Morris Canal in the Continental Drive portion of the town. The trail, which is beautiful and will see the installation of kiosks in early 2014, is the first of 3 phases implementing a 3-mile-long Braille trail when finally completed. Number 6, parks, buildings, and grounds. Some of the buildings and grounds accomplishments this year included the installation of the new digital sign in front of the municipal building, installation of the emergency backup generator at the senior center, making improvements to the infields for baseball and softball fields throughout the town, installing new backboards at Turkey Brook Park, installing emergency throw rope stations around Bud Lake and Turkey Brook Pond, clearing and GPS mapping of the White Trail system from Gold Mine Road to Schoolhouse Lane. Building and grounds accomplishments also included installing lighting on the practice field and warm-up area, as well as prepared for future lighting of baseball 4, basketball courts, and soccer 4 through upgrades in our electrical infrastructure at Turkey Brook. They created a memorial at the Mount Olive Beach related to the tragic ice incident where we lost 2 of our youth, regraded and reseeded the lacrosse field at Turkey Brook, began construction on 2 lacrosse fields at Drakes Brook Park, created the Braille Trail as discussed before, installed new fencing around Dan Jordan Fields, the need for which was due to Superstorm Sandy, and installed energy-efficient lighting and sensors in the municipal building, created a bird-watching area under the power lines at Turkey Brook, and installed the concession stand for the lacrosse program. Number 7, community beautification. Continuation of the Adopt a Stop program, which included Flanders Park, Turkey Brook, and Municipal Complex. We expect to even improve the efforts that we have done to date. And a lot of this has been through community outreach to the corporations in town and the landscapers in town who have stepped up to the plate and recognize that they are part of this community as well. That's number 8, community outreach. We combined efforts with multiple township departments, clergy, local businesses, nonprofit organizations, and have provided over 40 needy families with gifts and food for the holidays. We conducted community events such as the tree lighting and Hanukkah celebration at the municipal complex. We participated in numerous grand openings throughout the township, incorporating the mayor's office, Chamber of Commerce, and EDC. We fostered the continuation of the mayor's open door policy with focus on social media outlets to the public, such as newspaper articles, Facebook, Twitter, and improving the township website. Number 9, something we will all be proud of, Mount Playmore. Design Day was a complete success this past November with the submission of over 300 drawings from our local students and over 200 people attending our design reveal party. Demolition will begin in the next week to begin preparing for the construction of the new Mount Playmore. Our staff is working diligently towards clearing and preparing the grounds for the expanded footprint of the much larger playground that Mount Playmore will provide for our residents. And I'm sure when it's completed, we will all be very proud of that effort. It is something which will benefit Mount Olive for years to come. Through the extremely diligent efforts of the Finance Department, and this is going to sound very repetitive because it's every year that the Finance Department under Sherry's leadership is exceptional. Number 1, we received no audit recommendations for 2012, which is our 5th year in a row. We had our highest tax collection rate since 2000, 98.94%. We had $241 million in assessment under state court appeal, and we settled $199 million with only a $21,000 refund. We have $588,000 in added assessments for 2013, which exceeded our original expectations by $249,000. We had no municipal liens created as a result of our 2013 tax sale. We have $60 million under county tax appeal, and we settled with less than a 2% reduction. Our surplus increased by $1,080,000, or 37.4% from the beginning to the end of 2013. That's our surplus increased by $1,080,000. We maintained our debt rating, and our debt level continued to slightly drop from 2012 to 2013. Debt rate at 12/31/13 was 0.729%. We initiated a customer service training session for all township employees with Kenya Rutland from KGR Consulting, which was well received. We had a state audit conducted on our deduction program covering the years 2008 to 2011, and we received no audit recommendations. We prepared the 2014 budget with no tax increase for our municipal taxpayers. We concluded a water sewer study, which resulted in no new rate increases, and our Bud Lake assessment was completed in 2013. We conducted a bond anticipation note sale in 2013 for $3.3 million, which resulted in an interest rate of only 0.64%. On a happy note, Jack Marchione was confirmed as Vice President of the New Jersey State Assessors Association. We continued to write the ADS, AFS, and all supplemental debt statements in-house to save money and auditing accounting fees. Once again, kudos to our Finance Department. Sherry, you've done a fantastic job and made my life extremely easy in terms of the finances of the township. Last year, the Planning Department was actively engaged in a number of projects beyond the typical responsibilities to assist the general public with questions concerning zoning, the enforcement of the Township Land Use Ordinance, and the preparation of reports for the Planning Board for site plan, subdivision, and variance applications. Among the highlights, number 1, Planning Board Master Plan Reexamination Report. The Mount Olive Planning Board conducted a comprehensive reexamination report of the 2003 Master Plan and the Township's land use regulations and adopted the formal report in June. Among the report's findings and recommendations is the need to continue the implementation of the Highlands Plan conformance, modify certain zone districts, establish new conditional uses in certain districts for affordable accessory apartments, revise and update the land use ordinance, and work with Highlands Council on a new Highlands redevelopment plan in Bud Lake. Number 2, New Jersey State Development and Redevelopment Plan planning area designation. The Planning Department, with assistance from the township engineer and planning consultants, successfully initiated map changes to the state plan policy map for 2 areas in Mount Olive Township. The State Planning Commission approved the amendments to change a portion of Flanders from Planning Area Number 5, no growth, to Planning Area 1, growth area, facilitating expansion of the Siemens campus in Mount Olive, and to modify a section of the International Trade Center Foreign Trade Zone, including the former BASF complex, from Planning Area 5 to Planning Area 2, modified growth area, in order to attract reinvestment in this area of the township. Number 3, COA affordable housing. The township continued in its efforts to acquire the former Cobblestone nursing home site, to remove the abandoned buildings and redevelop the site with affordable housing consistent with the township's COA requirements. Acquisition of the site and funding for an environmental evaluation and assessment of the existing well for potable water capacity for the proposed development have been financed through the Mount Olive Affordable Housing Trust Fund. In accordance with the recommendation from the Planning Board to modify the RRAA and RRA residential zones to permit a limited number of accessory apartments with existing single-family homes to be used exclusively for affordable housing pursuant to the township's current housing element and fair share plan and spending plan, the Township Council adopted Ordinance 25-2003 to authorize an accessory apartment program. A consultant also funded through the township's Affordable Housing Trust Fund will serve as the township's administrative agent as required by COA to implement and manage this effort. Number 4, the Planning Department, in accordance with the terms set forth in a funding grant from the Highlands Council, finalized the key requirements of plan conformance with the Highlands Regional Master Plan for the 80% of the township falling within the restricted Highlands Preservation Area. This includes the Highlands Preservation Area Ordinance, a Highlands Checklist Ordinance, and a Highlands Exemption Ordinance, which is designated to assist residents and property owners with the preservation area to secure certain exemption determinations from Highlands regulations from Planning Department staff rather than submit to the lengthy process otherwise required by the NJDEP. The Planning Department and the Township's planning consultants secured an $85,000 grant from the Highlands Council in September to prepare a Highlands redevelopment plan for section of Route 46 within the Highlands Preservation Area. The redevelopment area consists of some 17 properties, including the 5-acre municipal beach and former municipal building public works site as its focal point. The ultimate objective is to create a new lake development district to revitalize the commercial and recreational potential within this area while simultaneously introducing new standards for environmental protection of the lake environs. In 2013, the building department was incredibly busy and worked diligently to provide all services required related to the issuing of permits and providing required inspection services related to fees, new development, and/or construction in Mount Olive, as well as projects involving homeowner remodeling. The building department had exceeded its expected generation by bringing in over $791,444 in fees and looks forward to another active year in 2014. In fact, it's my opinion, based upon my forecasting, that the building department will continually see increases for the next several years in terms of inspection fees and permit fees that are coming in based upon the developments that I see being built in Mount Olive over the next 3 years. During the period of January 1 through 2013 to December 31, 2013, the building department issued a total of 1,454 plus 310 updated permits. The department had a total of 5,196 inspections, 1,711 for building, 1,433 for electrical, 1,380 for plumbing, and 572 for fire. In 2013, the municipal court, working on behalf of both the Mount Olive and Netcong residents, received over 430 criminal complaints and 6,000 motor vehicle tickets. The court generated over $300,000 in fees for the township. In January 2013, the municipal court began using telephonic interpretation in the courtroom in 8 different languages, Spanish and Mandarin Chinese being the most common. The Health Department successfully renegotiated 2 interlocal shared services agreements for the next 3 years with the Borough of Netcong and the Borough of Mount Arlington. They also negotiated a shared services agreement with Byram Township for animal control services. They also entered into a memorandum of agreement for animal control coverage during the day with the Borough of Hopatcong. They delivered 40 Thanksgiving baskets, delivered 40 Christmas food baskets, and Christmas gifts to 45 needy families in Mount Olive. Something I'm very proud of. Once again, we took first place in the Morris County McMatch competition by generating 7,128 pounds of donated product for the needy. The public health nursing aspect of the health department developed an Excel database in collaboration with the Mount Olive Township Police Department, identifying our at-risk senior population during times of emergency and emergency preparedness. They developed a health department Facebook page with updates on timely public health announcements, health alerts, and credible health promotional information of a timely nature. Childcare-wise, included 107 visits from parents, children, providing guidance on health, vaccination, and available resources through the township and the county. They provided a total of 840 flu vaccinations, including the communities that we serve. They also investigated 186 reported communicable disease cases, as well as provided health screenings in both the spring and fall. The health department also expanded senior transportation to include activities every day and not limited to delivery of meals, medicals, etc., but all senior activities and needs. They also expanded transportation services for the disabled, individuals young or older, for all activities, social, medical, meals, and shopping. Our animal control officer, Frank Nelson, was awarded runner-up Emmett Brown Achievement Award from the administration for developing a lost and found segment for lost animal on the township's webpage and other social media for animal control issues. Lost animals for public and animal events, as well as public notices received and sent throughout the year. ACO Nelson also became a certified animal cruelty investigator and has been certified in remote chemical immobilization of animals that are difficult or dangerous to apprehend. Nelson was also faced with the hoarding of cats situation this year in Mount Olive that was successfully mitigated. All animals were adopted out with the assist of Mount Olive Township's TNR group. In 2013, the Fire Marshal's Office conducted over 1,183 inspections in Mount Olive and in Chester Borough in the year of 2013. This includes all of the apartment buildings in Mount Olive. They appear in the system as one inspection but actually involve over 300 buildings. The Fire Marshal have been called out over 30 times after hours for fire scene investigations. In addition, the Fire Marshal's Office successfully entered into another shared service agreement with the town of Hackettstown with the projected revenue of at least $50,000. Just to let you know, I'm on page 15 of 21, if that makes a difference to anybody. The Recreation Department had many successes in 2013. Recreation ran 21 special events, 10 of which were new, included but not limited to Mount Olive Week Carnival, Raiders of the Lost Park, Mud Run, Fall in Love with Mount Olive Weekend, Farmers Market, MOPL Fall Fest, Tour de Mount Olive, and Wine Tasting Event, and Strut Your Mud Event. In addition to the events, Recreation collected $75,000 in sponsorships received from 129 area businesses. New classes were offered in fitness, cooking art, career coaching, and leadership. This year, Recreation already has tentatively planned Restaurant Week in January 27th through the 31st and October 20th through the 24th. Mount Playmore ribbon cutting set for April 6th. Do or Die Fun Run Walk on April 26th. Summer Entertainment Series Movies in the Park at Turkey Brook, July 20th through the 27th and August 3rd. Paddleboard 5K added to the Bud Lake Beach Regatta, July 7th. The Tour de Mount Olive, September 28th. And Bike and Hike Trail Stomp, October 10th through 11th. Moving on to the Public Works Department. The Public Works Department successfully maintained and improved township-owned infrastructure. They also had several substantial accomplishments for the 2013 year. 2013 saw the township bring our fleet services back in-house. This has been an outstanding decision since we have cut fleet budget by close to $100,000. We have a top-notch fleet supervisor that continues to keep the fleet rolling, proper preventative maintenance service and scheduling, evaluation of equipment, and the need for replacements. The fleet department has been exceptional during emergency and storm events by keeping the fleet on the roads. I can also tell you that anecdotally, the police department has been extremely happy with our in-house fleet maintenance. Number two, the introduction of the one-armed bandit solid waste trucks and the distributing of waste cans to the residents of Mount Olive Township. The new Packers have replaced the older rear loader models. This change will be more efficient in our daily pickup operations and have a major role in the decline of work-related injuries. We will be able to cut our daily manpower needs and relocate those employees to other areas of work within the township. Number three, demolition and construction of a new well house within the Indian Springs Allcrest water system. The new structure replaced the dilapidated two separate structures to combine all treatment and controls under one roof. The new structure also includes a backup generator for power outage issues to allow continual flow of water to the residents of Mount Olive Sand Shore system. Road resurfacing has included sections of Smithtown Road, Drakestown Road, Ironia Road. State grants for road resurfacing will combine 2013 and 2014 to cover International Drive South. Community Development Grant has also allowed the township to install storm drainage to areas of town suffering from storm water issues. Waterloo Road, Woodland Avenue, Lozier Road, at a cost of over $50,000. The township, as we always do, has continued to improve all aspects related to information technology, including better security at the municipal building in Turkey Brook Park. Scott was also responsible for renegotiating of our Verizon wireless plan, saving the town $5,516.33 in 2013. He also brought on Barracuda offsite data storage, saving thousands of dollars, as well as helped establish and get up and running the new fleet garage. 2013, the police department had both a significant call load and administrative matters to handle. As we all know, on February 14, 2013, the Mount Olive Police Department was accredited by the New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police. This was in recognition of the police department having fulfilled the best practice standards established by the association for accreditation. On March 23, 2013, the MOPD was further accredited through the Commission of Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies Recognition Program. This was the culmination of a 2.5-year effort and grant from the Morris County Joint Insurance Fund. Traffic studies. The police department submitted 3 township resolutions that were sent to NJDOT for requested traffic safety improvements. Sidewalk improvements to Route 46 in the vicinity of, he just has number 3. Restriping of Route 206 in the vicinity of Benjamin Moore. Re-engineering of the intersection of Route 46 and Smithtown Wolf Roads. Cooperative effort between the Land Conservancy of New Jersey Green Acres, New Jersey Water Supply Authority, Morris County Municipal Utilities Authority, the Mount Olive Department of Public Works, and the Police Department has resulted in improved sight distance at the intersection of Route 46 and Wolf Road. This was the result of tree brush cutback and regrading of the roadside property. 2 additional pedestrian crossing signs were placed on Wolf Road. With respect to police technology and infrastructure improvements, the police department upgraded to the Enforcis Blue computer-aided dispatch and records management system to better integrate all emergency services. An automatic license plate reader was purchased and installed with the grant obtained by the Morris County Prosecutor's Office. The Police Department has upgraded our property and evidence storage with the recent acquisition of the BEAST, Bar-Coded Evidence Analysis Statistical Tracking. This system allows property and evidence to be tracked from collection through distribution and destruction via computer-based paperless application. This system will put us in line with other agencies that have been and is currently using a computer-based evidence tracking system. The receiver site at Hackettstown Hospital was upgraded to improve radio communications. Police assisted with the install and upgrade of the township's new Triad security system. Public and secure Wi-Fi access was added to the police department. The Township Emergency Operations Center received structural improvements as well as the addition of a smart board. The board allows us to link with Morris County OEM in real time. New phone banks and emergency power were added to the Emergency Operations Center as well. Givaudan donated funds for the purchase of an ice rescue sled. This is maintained at Station 21 Rescue and is available to emergency personnel. With respect to calls for service and investigations, the Mount Olive Police Department handled 76,870 calls for service in 2013. This is a 10% increase over calls for service handled in 2012. Calls of note during 2013 were: on January 7, 2013, at approximately 6:30 p.m., police officers responded to the vicinity of Sandshore and Church Street for a report of persons having fallen through the ice. Despite the best efforts of responding emergency personnel, they were unable to save the victims, Clyde Szymanski and Nicholas Cinciotti, two 15-year-old friends who had gone ice fishing. On February 18, 2013, officers responded to 56 Main Street in the Flanders section of town. Despite the best efforts of police and emergency responders, the fire claimed the lives of 7-year-old Cristiano Bonner and 52-year-old Hasham Mustafa. On January 10, 2013, at approximately 1 a.m., officers interrupted a burglary in process at the Country Store on Route 46. Michael Kramer, age 42, of Bud Lake, was arrested. On October 22, 2013, at 3:17 p.m., officers were called to a residence on Sandshore Road. Sorry. It's a good thing I'm in charge. No one can take it away from me. Where a homeowner had come home to see someone fleeing from her residence. In less than 10 minutes, officers located the offender with the stolen items still in his possession. Charged with burglary, theft, and related crimes was Zachary Temple, 23 years of age, from Long Valley. Officers saved the lives of 3 persons actively engaged in ending their lives by suicide during the months of March, May, and July. Officers saved the lives of 2 persons using the defibrillator in February and September. Other calls, types, and responses numbers for 2013 were 1,250 alarms, 1,441 ambulance assists, 43 assaults, 76 burglaries, 62 criminal mischief complaints, 176 domestic disputes, 88 domestic violence complaints, 169 harassment complaints, 257 noise complaints, 238 thefts or shoplifting, 1,037 traffic collisions. The police department was in receipt of a large number of firearm applications as well. During the course of 2013, 359 firearm application investigations were completed. Police officers conducted 11,209 checks of businesses, 3,240 residential checks, and performed 29,737 directed patrols. Mount Olive Police made 875 criminal arrests in 2013. In addition, as of the beginning of December, 126 arrests were made for DWI and 4,093 motor vehicle summonses were issued. What I have included in this address is only a small sampling of what our township departments and employees accomplished over the course of last year. Let us not forget that they are in the front line every day working to make Mount Olive a better, safer place to live. To that end, I congratulate all of the employees in all of the successes of 2013 and look forward to greater achievements in 2014. As we move forward into 2014 and beyond, we have many things to look forward to. We can also take pride in the momentum the township has and continues to generate. I can tell you how many people stop and tell me that they love living in Mount Olive. I would like to thank the town council, our business administrator Sean Canning, and all of our municipal employees for a job well done in 2013. May you all have a happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. Sincerely and with great appreciation, Robert Greenbaum, Mayor of Mount Olive Township. Thanks for indulging me.
Well, Mayor, I just want to say I'm a proud resident of Mount Olive, and I'm very thrilled and happy to be part of the council here as well. And just to have an administration that is so proactive and so thinking out of the box and does so much, and to be in a community where the employees that work here, it's amazing how much they care about the community that you live in. You know, I've been few communities in my life when I moved, but it's amazing to see the care and everything in this town, and I'm grateful and thankful and to have you as a mayor and work with the council here as well. So thank you for everything. Moving on to our agenda, we need approval of previous minutes, which would be from December 23rd, 2013, workshop and public meeting. Mr. Ferrante and Mr. Roman were absent. And January 2nd, 2014, Mrs. LeBeau was absent. Mr. Amiando, would you move the minutes, please? And
Yes, I make a motion for approval of minutes of previous meetings on December 23rd, 2013, workshop and public minutes, and January 2nd, 2014, public minutes.
Second.
roll call.
Mr. Amianda?
Yes.
Mr. Frente?
Abstain from December 23rd, 2013 workshop and public meeting, and yes to January 2nd, 2014 public meeting.
Mrs. Labow?
Can I ask a question first? Mr. Amianda wasn't on the council yet. He voted yes for December. Okay.
No, I should have voted on
Yeah, just
January 2nd.
just abstain from the other one. And I am yes for December 23rd workshop and public meeting, and abstain from January 2nd, 2014.
Mr. Perkins?
Yes.
Mr. Roman?
Abstain on the December 23rd, 2013 workshop and public meeting, and yes on January 2nd, 2014 public meeting.
Mr. Nacastro?
Yes. Okay. We have 27 pieces of correspondence. Does anyone have anything on any of the correspondence? Seeing none, we'll move on to ordinances for public hearing. We have 4 ordinances.
For none.
Oh, I'm sorry, none for public hearing. We have ordinances for first reading. We have 4 readings. Ordinance number 1-2014, bond ordinance providing for various park improvements in and by the Township of Mount Olive in the County of Morris, New Jersey, appropriating $236,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of 224,200 bonds or notes of the township to finance part of the cost thereof. Mr. Ferrante?
Sure, I move that an ordinance number 1-2014 be introduced by title and passed on first reading, and that a meeting be held on January 28th, 2014, at 7 p.m. at the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, for a public hearing, consideration of second reading, and passage of said ordinance, and that the clerk be directed to publish, post, and make available said ordinance in accordance with the requirements of the law.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Amianda?
Yes.
Mr. Frente?
Yes.
Mrs. Labow?
Yes.
Mr. Perkins?
Yes.
Mr. Roman?
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro?
Yes. Ordinance number 2-2014, an ordinance of the Township of Mount Olive in the County of Morris, State of New Jersey, to amend Chapter 196, Part 5, Article 13, Section 196-74.1, entitled Connection Fees to Bud Lake Sanitary Sewer System, to be incorporated into Chapter 196 of Mount Olive Township Code. Ms. LaBelle?
Thank you. I move that ordinance number 2-2014 be introduced by title and passed on first reading, and that a meeting be held on January 28th, 2014.